Hello, welcome to Case Management 201, Services in SkanPoint. I'm your trainer, HMIS Program Specialist, Shante Smith. During this training, we will learn how to apply services that are provided to the clients you serve, as well as how to navigate through the SkanPoint module. Please note that if you have any questions, to contact us at the HMIS Help Desk via email at hmissupport@cir.org or by phone or text at 602-908-3605. Thank you, and let's get started. Once you log into the system, if it is necessary to your workflow, go to the top right-hand side of the screen to use the Enter Data As button to ensure that you're entering your client information into the correct project. Next, you will go to the left side of your screen to the menu and locate the SkanPoint button. Once you click it, your screen will change to show a client search page. Enter in the necessary information to search for your client. You can search by their name and Social Security number, or by their HMIS client ID number. Since I know my client's HMIS ID number, I will type it into the search field and click Submit. Once I have my client's record open, I will locate the tab that says Service Transactions and click it. This will automatically direct me to the Service Transaction Dashboard. The Service Transaction Dashboard has different features that aid in collecting data on services provided to the client served. The Add Need button is rarely used. This is because when a project creates a service for their client, the need for that service is automatically created at the same time. The Add Service button is used when you would like to apply a service that was provided to your client. The Add Multiple Services button is used when you would like to apply multiple services to a single client all at once. The Add Referrals button is used when you would like to apply a referral that was provided to your client. The Eligibility Search button is a custom setup that requires custom training. This feature is not available to all projects. For all training inquiries, please contact the HMIS Help Desk at hmissupport@cir.org. The View Previous Service Transactions button is used when you would like to view a history of services provided to your client. The View Shelter Stays button is a feature that allows you to see your client's past shelter stays, even if it was with another agency or project. The View Entire Service History button is used when you would like to view a history of needs, services, and referrals provided to this client. Now, please return to the Home menu to begin to work on an example of applying a single service to one client. I have a client that I will be working with for the duration of their stay in my project. They have come to me and expressed their need for personal grooming supplies since they are unable to provide it themselves. My project has certain personal and grooming supply items on hand that I may provide to my client. Since I have done so, I now need to log this information on their profile to show that I provided them with this service. To get to the client's Service Transaction Dashboard, repeat the following steps. Once you log into the system, if it is necessary to your workflow, go to the top right-hand side of the screen and use the Enter Data As button to ensure that you're entering your client information into the correct project. Next, you will go to the left side of your screen to the menu and locate the SkanPoint button. Once you click it, your screen will change to show the client search page. Enter in the necessary information to search for your client. You can search by their name and Social Security number, or by their HMIS client ID number. Since I know my client's HMIS ID number, I will type it into the client search field and click Submit. This will then automatically take us to our client record. Once I have the client's record open, I will locate the tab that says Service Transactions and click it. This will now take me to their Service Transaction Dashboard. Once my screen shows my client's Service Transaction Dashboard, I will locate the button that says Add Service. Once you click it, your screen will change, and on the top left corner you will see Add Service. And below that you will see your client's name and HMIS ID number listed. Please keep in mind, if you serve families, you will see a list of household member names and HMIS ID numbers. This is where you will check mark the names of the clients you need to record the service on. Next, you will make sure that the correct service provider is listed. If you use the EDA mode when you began to work with this specific client, this should match. The creating user will automatically default to show your name. Then, you must complete the start date and the end date. The start date and end date should be the same day. Sometimes it will auto-populate. If it does not, you must fill it in yourself. To reduce what can be known as human error, you can also click on the calendar with the green check mark, and it will populate the current date or to the date that you have set your back date to. Next, you will list the service type. In this case, it is personal goods supplies. Keep in mind that this list is called a service code quick list. It is a general list of services provided at your project on a regular basis or by your project's requirements. It can be altered by request. To do so, contact the HMIS Help Desk at hmissupport@cir.org. To the left of the service type quick list is the Lookup button. This button can be used to look up specific service types in the AIRS taxonomy that isn't already listed on your service code quick list. Once you've selected your service type, you will then look towards the bottom and click Save and Continue. It will direct you to another page where it continues to allow you to edit the service. Although it may not look like the page changed, we promise it did. You can verify that the service provider, the creating user, the start date and end date are all listed correctly. This is also where you can check to make sure that your service type is listed correctly. If applicable, you will enter in the service costs associated with the service provided. Your supervisor can let you know if this data is collected specifically at your project or not. Then, you will locate the box titled Need Information and complete the options. Please remember that the need status should always be closed and the outcome of the need should be fully met. Once you've provided your client with a specific service, there is no longer a need for it. Then you will click Save and Exit. When you do, you will automatically be redirected to your client's service history list. Now, please return to your home screen to work through the next example of creating multiple services for one client using the Add Multiple Services option. Please keep in mind that while working with this next example, that your screen may look different than what is shown here. Just know that that is a custom setup, and for any inquiries, contact us at the HMIS Help Desk at 602-908-3605 or email us at hmissupport@cir.org. My client has come to me in need of some household goods, a bus fare, and food. I have all of those things available to provide to my client. I now need to log this information on their profile to show I provided them with this service. To get to the client service transaction dashboard, follow the same steps as before to get to your client's profile. And if applicable, be sure to use EDA. Once I have my client's record open, I will locate the tab that says Service Transactions and click it. This will automatically direct you to the Service Transaction dashboard. Once my screen shows my client service transaction dashboard, I will locate the button that says Add Multiple Services. Once you click it, your screen will change and you will see your client's name and HMIS ID number listed. Please keep in mind, if you serve families, you will see a list of other household member names as well as their HMIS ID numbers. This is where you will checkmark the names of the clients you need to record the service on. Below that, you will see an area titled Multiple Services. Next, you will make sure that the correct service provider is listed. If you entered into EDA mode when you began to work with this specific client, this should match. Next, the start date and end date should be listed as the same day. Sometimes this will automatically populate for you. If it does not, you will just need to manually enter it yourself. Next, the number of services text box is for you to record how many of this specific service did you provide. For example, if it's household goods, how many items were there? Then you will select the service type as household goods. Next, you will complete the need status. Then on the bottom right-hand side, there's a button that says Add Another. You will click it, and you will add the next service of a food box using all the same steps we just worked through. Once you've completed adding the service of a food box, next you will add a service of bus fare. Once you've added that service, look to the bottom right of the screen and click Save and Exit. You will then be redirected to your client's service transaction history. Now, please return to the home screen to work through the next example of creating one service to multiple clients using the SkanPoint module. I've held a group class about budgeting at my project today, and I would like to apply the service to all attendees within the system. To begin, go to the left side of your screen to the menu and locate the SkanPoint button. When you do, your screen will change to show the Provide Service tab. At the top, you will ensure that the correct provider is listed. Then, you will use the drop-down list to select your service type, and in this case, it will be Personal Financial Counseling. Next, you will complete your start date and end date. Please remember that these dates should match. Then, if applicable, complete the service costs. Next, we will need to select what clients we would like to apply the service to. There are 3 different ways this next part can be completed. We will complete an example for each option. Option number 1. If your project does not utilize the ShelterPoint module, use this option. First, you will locate the button on the bottom of the screen towards the middle that says Start Scan, and click it. Once you do, your screen will change and a box will appear with the title as Scan ID Cards. In this pop-up box, you are able to look for your client by name or by HMIS ID number. Once you have located the clients you wish to apply the service to, a list will be created on the bottom of the screen. To work through different ways of adding your client using this option, let's start with the client search. You will see an arrow next to the word Client Search that's pointing to the right. Take your cursor and click on the arrow so that it points down. By clicking on the arrow to point down, it expands the search option so that you may type in your client's name to search for them. For example, let's search for Agent Cody Banks. Once you type in that name, go ahead and locate the button that says Search and click it. Once you have that list of client results, you will select the appropriate client you wish to apply this service to by clicking on the green circle with the plus sign located to the left of the client ID and name. Once you do, you will notice that your client is now listed of the bottom of your screen to show that this service has been applied to their profile. You can continue to use this method to find your clients, or you can search by their HMIS client ID. To do that, look for the area that says Scan Client Barcode. Use the text field box to type in your client's HMIS ID and click Scan Barcode. Once you do, you'll notice that at the bottom of your screen, the client you just searched for is now listed. If you prefer to work through it this way, you can continue to use this method to find your clients as needed. As a side note, in the event you added the wrong client to this list, there is an easy fix. Locate the incorrect client on your list and use the trash can to the left of the name to delete it. A warning box will appear asking if you want to confirm the deletion of this entry. This is where you will click Yes. If you are done creating your list, look towards the bottom right of the screen and click Exit. This will return you to the SkanPoint Provide Service screen. At this point, you will need to remember that the computer did its work in the background and attach this specific service to the list of clients you just created. Option number 2 is Choose Clients from the Client List button. Before you can begin to use this option, you must create a clients list in the Manage Client List tab within the SkanPoint module. This tab is located at the top of the screen. Once you click it, your screen will change to show previously created client lists if applicable. Next, you will locate the button at the bottom left that says Create New Client List. Once you click it, a pop-up window will appear to allow you to name your client list. And then you will make sure that your correct service provider is listed. Next, you will click Save and Continue. Once you do, your screen will change and you will see a header that says Client List, HMIS Training Clients, and this is where you will create your client list. You can add clients by typing in their HMIS ID in the Type or Scan Client ID to Add text field box, or you can click Search so that you can search by their first and last name and any other pertinent information that you have. If you choose to add them by their client ID number, you will use this text field box to type in the number. And then click Add New Client to List. If you choose to search by their name and other criteria, you will click on the search box and the screen will change to show the search box criteria. This is where you will type in your client information and then click Search. Once you do, a list will generate under the search results, and to select the client that you would like to work with, click on this green circle with the plus sign located to the left of the name. It will seem like nothing happened, but in the background, the computer did its job and added this client to your list. Once you've completed searching for and adding your clients to your list, click Exit. It will take you back to your client list page to see where they are listed. Once you have your list created, you can click Exit located on the right. Once you do, it will take you back to the Manage Client List page. From there, you will click on the Provide Service tab, and at the top you will ensure that the correct provider is listed to the service provider title. Then you will use the drop-down list to select your service type. In this case, it will be Personal Financial Counseling. Next, you will complete your start date and end date if it is not automatically populated for you. Please remember that these dates should match. Then, if applicable, complete the service costs Next, we will need to select what clients we would like to apply the service to by clicking the Choose Clients from Client List button. Once you do, your client list pop-up window will appear and you will select the client list you wish to add the service to by clicking on the green circle with the plus sign next to it. When you do, your screen will change and show the list of clients associated to the specific client list. You will check mark the names of the clients you would like this service to be associated to. And then click Enter Service for Clients. A pop-up box will appear stating services were successfully entered for however many number of clients you entered, and then you will click OK. Option number 3. If your project utilizes the ShelterPoint module, you will click the option at the bottom left titled Choose Clients from Unit List. Again, if your project does not utilize the ShelterPoint module within the system, do not click this button. Once you click the button, a box will pop up with the header that reads Select Unit List. Underneath, you will see a drop-down list to select the provider unit list you wish to view. Then use the drop-down below that to choose which unit list you would like to view, and then click the Submit button. Next, a box will appear with the names of clients currently checked in to a bed or unit at your project. You will select the names of those who attended the group class and then click the button to the right that says Enter Service for Clients. You will then be redirected to the SkanPoint Provide Service tab, and you'll notice an alert box on your screen informing you that a service has been successfully entered for the number of clients you chose, and then click OK. Now, please return to your home screen to work through the next example of creating multiple services to multiple clients using the SkanPoint module. We understand that it can be nerve-wracking not knowing if the service was applied to the clients, but we assure you that the computer did the work in the background and attached the service that you, the user, has created to the client's profile. Please keep that in mind as we go along with this next example. I have a group of clients that came to me needing food and personal goods and services. It is my job to document these services on my clients within the system. To begin, go to the left side of your screen to the menu and locate the SkanPoint button. When you do, your screen will change to show the Service tab. Next, you will click on the Multiple Services tab. At the top, you will ensure that the correct provider is listed next to the service provider title. Next, you will complete your start date and end date if it is not automatically populated for you. Please remember, these dates should match. You will then enter in the number, quantity of the specific service that you provided. Next, use the drop-down list to select your service type. In this case, it will be food. Once you have done so, if applicable, complete the service costs, and then go towards the needs information and complete the need status and the outcome of the need. Please keep in mind that this should be closed, fully met. And then, once you've completed that information, you will look to the bottom right for the button that says Add Another and click it. This is where a list will populate at the bottom for you to be able to enter in that secondary service. Please repeat the same steps as we just completed above to add your second service of personal goods. Next, you will decide on the option that works best for you in your project workflow to select the clients to apply these services to. I will use the Choose Clients from Client List option since I have it already created with the clients these services apply to. Once I click that button, then the client list pop-up window will appear, and I will select my client list by clicking on the circle with the green plus sign. Once I do, my screen will change to show the clients on this specific list, I will checkmark the names of the clients I wish to apply this service to and click Enter Service for Clients. This is where that pop-up box will appear saying services were successfully entered for however many clients I chose, and then you can click OK. Now, please return to your home screen to review services entered or how to correct a service entered. To check your work or to make corrections on services, locate the SkanPoint module on the menu. Once you click it, type in the appropriate information to search for your client. Once you have located your client on their record, locate the Service Transactions tab and click it. This will take you to the Service Transactions dashboard. Next, you will click the View Entire Service History button. As a reminder, every time you create a service or referral, a need is automatically created as well. With that said, when you look at the entire service history screen, every service or referral that was entered will have at least 2 lines, one for the need and one for the service or referral. Services will only have one need listed for each service type. If you happen to see a need with multiple services, this is an error and you should contact the HMIS Help Desk so we may assist you in correcting that error. To see the details or to make a correction on a service entered, click the pencil to the left of the service you wish to view, not the need, and then once you do, the screen will change to show the service details screen. This is where you can make necessary changes to this service. Once you have, scroll to the bottom and click Save and Exit. Now you can return back to the dashboard by clicking towards the bottom right, Back to Dashboard. And click on your View Entire Service History just so we can get back to that screen. If you need to delete a service made due to an error, you must delete the need that is associated to that service. By doing this, it will automatically delete the service attached to it. To complete this, you will look at the top left of the actual need that is listed, and you'll see a trash can with a red X. Once you do, go ahead and click it. A warning box will appear asking if you're sure that you want to delete this need with the one service attached to it. You will click Delete, and when you do, you'll be directed back to the service history pane to show the updated list of services provided to this client. Now you may return to your home screen. To reiterate a few key points, let's look over the summary. When wanting to record a service to client's profile, you will do so on the Service Transactions tab. Also, please remember that the service type list is a custom setup. Each project has a different list. Then, when completing your services on your clients, please always make sure that your start and end date of the service provided matches. This should be the same date. Then you will need to remember to complete your need status and the outcome of need, and it should always be closed, fully met. When wanting to record multiple services to multiple clients at once, you will begin by using the SkanPoint module. When using the SkanPoint module, remember there's those 3 different options that you can use. Option number 1, Start Scan. This is where you can search for your client by name and social security number or by their HMIS client ID number. Option number 2, choose from Client List. This is where you must first create a client list through the Manage Client List tab. Then you can apply the services to that specific list of clients that you just created. Then option number 3 is choose clients from Unit List. This can only be used if your project uses the ShelterPoint module to check clients into a bed or unit. This is also where you will select the clients on that bed list to apply the services to. Then keep in mind, when wanting to review or make corrections on existing services, you will go to your client's profile and then locate the Service Transactions tab. From there, you will click on View Entire Service History. And always remember, the system automatically creates a corresponding need for every service provided. By following these steps and working through the examples, you've completed training on Case Management 201 Services in SkanPoint. As a reminder, if you have any questions, feel free to contact us at the HMIS Help Desk via email at hmissupport@cir.org or by phone or text at 602-908-3605. Thank you, and please refer back to your training confirmation email for further instructions.